The night of eternal day. Whispers of the past. Morning arrived with the golden light of the sun filtering through the curtains, casting a warm glow on the room. Miguel and Rosa woke up feeling uneasy from the previous night's strange events. They exchanged wary glances as they met in the kitchen for breakfast, the bizarre nocturnal activities of the town still fresh in their minds. "Did you sleep well?" Rosa asked, pouring herself a cup of coffee. "Not really," Miguel admitted. "I had this weird dream about the town being deserted and a creepy guy with glowing eyes. It felt so real." Rosa nodded, her expression serious. "I couldn't sleep either. I kept thinking about what you said last night. Maybe we should talk to Aling Maria and see if she knows what's going on." After a quick breakfast, they headed to the town plaza, where they found Aling Maria chatting with some other locals. She greeted them warmly as they approached. "Good morning. How did you sleep?" she asked. "Actually, we wanted to ask you about something," Rosa said. "We noticed that people here seem to stay up all night, working and going about their day like it's normal. Is there a reason for that?" Aling Maria's smile faltered slightly, but she quickly regained her composure. "Oh, it's just a local custom. People here are very hardworking, and sometimes they get caught up in their tasks. It's nothing to worry about." Miguel wasn't convinced. "But it seems like more than just being hardworking. The town was as busy at midnight as it is during the day. Is there something you're not telling us?" The older woman hesitated, glancing around nervously. "It's really nothing. Just an old tradition. Please, don't let it spoil your vacation." Sensing they wouldn't get more information from her, Miguel and Rosa thanked Aling Maria and decided to explore the town further. They visited the local shops and talked to more residents, but everyone gave them the same vague explanations. As the day wore on, Miguel became more determined to uncover the truth. He suggested they check out the local library to see if they could find any historical records or old newspapers that might shed light on the town's strange behavior. The library was a small, dusty building near the edge of town. Inside, they were greeted by an elderly librarian who seemed delighted to have visitors. She directed them to the archives, a dimly lit room filled with stacks of old books and newspapers. They spent hours sifting through the archives, searching for any clues. Finally, Rosa stumbled upon an old newspaper article from the 1960s. The headline read, "Mysterious phenomenon plagues town, residents work day and night without rest." "Look at this, Miguel," Rosa said, handing him the article. "It talks about the same thing we're experiencing." Miguel scanned the article, his eyes widening. According to the report, the phenomenon had started suddenly and without explanation. The townspeople were unable to sleep, driven to work continuously. Scientists and doctors had visited the town to study the phenomenon, but they couldn't find a cause. The article ended with a chilling note: the townspeople seemed content with their situation, showing no signs of distress or fatigue despite their lack of rest. "This is insane," Miguel muttered. "It's like the town is stuck in some kind of time loop." Rosa nodded. "And it's been happening for decades. We need to find out why." Their next stop was the town's church. They hoped the local priest might have some answers. The church, a beautiful old structure with stained glass windows and a tall steeple, stood at the center of town. Inside, they found Father Antonio, a kindly middle-aged man who welcomed them warmly. "Father Antonio, we need to ask you about something strange we've noticed," Miguel began. "The townspeople seem to work through the night, without ever sleeping. Do you know anything about this?" The priest's expression grew serious. Yes, I've heard about it. It's a mystery that has puzzled many. The townspeople have accepted it as part of their lives, but outsiders often find it disturbing. Do you have any idea why it happens? Rosa asked. Father Antonio shook his head. There are many theories, but no definitive answers. Some believe it's a blessing, a gift of productivity. Others think it's a curse. I've tried to help, but there's nothing in our records that explains it. As they left the church, Miguel and Rosa felt a growing sense of urgency. They decided to investigate the outskirts of town, where they had noticed a peculiar old house during their drive-in. The house was overgrown with ivy and looked abandoned. This place gives me the creeps, Rosa said as they approached the gate. Me too, but we need to check it out, Miguel replied. They pushed open the creaky gate and walked up the path to the front door. It was unlocked, so they stepped inside. The air was thick with dust, and the floorboards creaked under their feet. The house was filled with old furniture and knickknacks, but it looked like no one had lived there for years. As they explored, they found a staircase leading down to a basement. The door was slightly ajar, and a faint light emanated from below. With a shared look of determination, they descended the stairs. The basement was filled with strange, old-fashioned equipment, laboratory apparatuses, charts, and diagrams pinned to the walls. It looked like a makeshift lab. On a dusty table, they found a stack of journals. Miguel picked one up and began to read. These are notes from a scientist, he said. He was studying the phenomenon. According to his entries, the townspeople were exposed to some kind of energy source buried deep beneath the town. It affected their sleep patterns and made them hyperproductive. But why didn't anyone stop it? Rosa asked, her voice trembling. The scientist believed it was too late, Miguel replied. The energy had become part of the town's ecosystem. Removing it could cause more harm than good. As they read further, they found a chilling note: the townspeople are changing. They seem content, but I fear they are no longer truly human. The energy is altering them in ways we don't yet understand. Just then, they heard footsteps above them. Someone was in the house. They quickly put the journal back and crept up the stairs, peering through the cracked door. To their horror, they saw Aling Maria and several other townspeople standing in the foyer, their faces eerily calm. "We know you're here," Aling Maria called out. "Come out, and we can explain everything." Miguel and Rosa exchanged a terrified glance. They had stumbled upon a secret that the town was determined to keep hidden. With no choice but to confront their fears, they stepped out of the basement, ready to uncover the truth, no matter the cost.